warm welcome. You've joined us on Commodity Central right here on ET Now. I'm Ashesha Adwaryu, and on the show today, we are going to put the spotlight on India's poultry and animal agriculture industry. Now remember, egg and chicken prices have risen quite a lot over the last few months. So how have pricing trends been looking like? And what does this mean for India's poultry feed industry? To understand this in greater detail, we are now joined by Mr. Divya Kumar Gulati, Chairperson at CLF MA of India, now joining us. Mr. Gulati, thank you so much. And first up, if you can take us through the latest pricing trends that we are seeing as far as egg, chicken and any other poultry feed products are concerned. What are the trends looking like? And most importantly, going forward in the next 2 to 3 quarters, how do you expect the pricing pressure to shape up?
Well, thank you for having us, and I'm very glad that now everyone realizes the importance of our sector, that we are the biggest consumers of the byproducts of the oilseed industry, the starch industry, and the most major consumers of the corn produced in the country. Having said that, our business is basically dependent on the agriculture produce, predominantly corn for the poultry feed. Just to create the awareness, 50 to 55% of the feed constitutes poultry feed constitutes of corn. Balance 25 to 30% constitutes of the soybean meal. Now, these two major ingredients actually determine the price of the feed for the poultry. And depending on the poultry feed prices is the price of the final produce, which is the chicken and the eggs. If these prices rise, automatically the production cost of the chicken and the egg also rise. Having said that, currently the corn prices are extremely high at 27 rupees and soybean meal are around 60 rupees, which actually increases the production cost of the chicken and the eggs. The current selling cost, depending on the area of the chicken at the farm gate, is around between 105 to 110 rupees per kilo. So this leaves a very less margin for the farmers to continue farming, which could also lead into shortage of the chicken. But since it is a 60-day, 45 to 60-day process, we cannot stop the farming. And that's why it's a curve which is extremely dependent on the costing of the raw material. The eggs, however, are also important because we produce around 149 billion eggs for the country, and it's 99.9% consumed within the country, even the chicken meat. The cost going up actually leaves a very, very, very less margins, as I said before, for the farmer. So currently, this is the trend and the scenario for the poultry feed, which actually determines the actual profitability in the chicken meat and the egg prices for the farmers.
Right. So I understand, Mr. Gulati, prices have gone up because of which we are seeing some margin squeeze for the entire industry. But what is leading to this surge? Is it because of the geopolitical turmoil that we are seeing in the global market, or are there other factors at play which are leading to this surge in raw material prices?
See, last year we had a surplus production of corn because the government had announced an MSP of 24 rupees per kilo for the corn. That's why the farmer started producing a lot of, see, our land area is limited. Now, either we can grow corn or soya or any other oil seeds. So whatever gives profitability to the farmers. And that supply and demand then depends, the price depends on these factors. Now, what happened last year was that we had an extra production of corn, and that's why we had around 45 million to 50 million tons production of corn for the country. Now, this year, the corn production has been shifted to soybean because last few months, the farmers did not get even the MSP price for the corn. The average prices for the last 2-3 months for the corn was 17 to 18 rupees for the farmer, which was not profitable for them. That's why this year in June, July, they've shifted to oilseed, which is soybean. Now, currently, soybean meal, soybeans itself is a shortage in the country. And that's why there is a high price for the soybean meal. The next harvest would now take place in October, November, and also the sowing of the seeds has been delayed because of the delayed rains. So we will have an actual picture of what the soybean production is in October, November, and that will actually determine the price if everything goes well as far as the weather goes. And we also have an El Nino effect coming in. So that will also be important for determining the final price of the soybean, which is an important, the soybean meal is an important ingredient for the poultry feed.
Clearly, so several factors that continue to remain at play and the factors that will determine how poultry feed prices shape up going forward. But Mr. Gulati also had one question with respect to how demand is shaping up both in the domestic market and also in the export market, because there is a big export market for us as far as poultry feed is concerned. How is the demand environment looking like?
We are not exporting poultry feed predominantly. Our chicken produce is 100% consumed within the country. It's only the eggs which we are exporting to UAE and some parts of Middle East, which is also not much. So the consumption of our chicken and eggs, you could say, is almost 100% in our country. It's only the shrimps which we are exporting from the country, not the poultry feed or the chickens or the eggs, which is a little bit to the Middle East region.
Okay, so that's as far as the export environment is concerned. Mr. Gulati, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now and taking us through the latest trends that are shaping up in the poultry feed industry. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. More news and updates will continue on the other side on ET Now. Stay tuned.